was going to go away for a few days, and on the weekend, and maybe go up to Hope. And I noticed when I got home, I had a little bit of steam coming from my engine, and I looked underneath, and I had water dripping down. So I popped open the hood, looked inside, couldn't see anything, but I had this sneaking suspicion it was my water pump. Well, palliative care is getting some palliative care. My mechanic John has had to remove all the radiators, the intercooler, that to get at the water pump. So he's just removing the housing now, and he's taking it off, and then we'll have a look and see what the actually water pump looks like. You can see on the old water pump, you can see some cracks on the side. I'll flip it over and you'll see, oh, there it is, where the water was weeping out on the side. So that was definitely the cause of my problem. My new water pump is installed, and I'm just waiting for John to put it all back together. Well, since I couldn't go away this weekend because of my water pump leak, I decided to do a couple things on the inside of my ambulance. Outside is out of the question. It's pouring like crazy, and the forecast is for 150 millimeters of rain over the next 2 days. So I permanently mounted my control panel lights. So Alexa, turn on control panel lights. There we go. I also mounted 2 new gauges. One is going to be for my freshwater tank that'll be underneath the vehicle. The black gauge is for my fuel tank for my diesel heater. I have one more gauge I'm waiting for that's going to be for my gray water tank. So those are the things that will be in the future. I started working on my cab rack for over my cab for my spare tire and maybe a couple other things. As soon as I can get my vehicle fixed, I can go into town and pick up a couple more items that I need to complete the rack. Go through a few changes I've made already to the front console. Now you see I made a little holder charger for my cell phone. The ambulance connect switch still works. What it does is connects the power to the back of the ambulance. My strobe and flasher have been disabled. I'm going to figure out something to do with that in the future. My light bar actually turns the light bar on that is mounted on the bumper. Then I have USB ports. I switch on 2 USB ports inside the cab, turn it on so I can have it on if I want, if the truck's not running or off to charge certain items. The light bar switch, the driving lights I should say, I just put in. Then I have my left scene, rear scene, and right scene lights at the lights on the side of the vehicle. I've changed those bulbs from incandescent to LED, super bright. There was a spotlight on here that is no longer connected. I plan to connect a light bar to that for my storage bin above the cabin in the future. Also have a little voltmeter for showing what my voltages my rear batteries are. There's a sure start. I'll just show it over here. That is if my truck batteries go dead and I got power in my house batteries, I can hit that switch and it contacts 2 solenoids that puts power and I can start my vehicle. Here I have a backup switch that I'm going to rechange, and I have a backup alarm, but sometimes I want to be able to disable the alarm so I don't wake people up if I'm leaving early in the morning. So I'm going to hook that up. My door lock and unlocks, I've hooked that back up so it connects. My anti-theft device was in here originally, so when you if you have the brake applied, you turn off the ignition, the vehicle still remain running. As soon as you touch the brakes, of course it'll stop. I have my siren in here still, and I've wired it so when you honk the horn it actually hits the horn feature of the siren. I have my rear temp switches, and I just got a new heater cord for the back, and I'm going to be installing that. And then I have a cot light switch in the back that will actually turn the lights on in the back. And my little light up here I wired in permanently. So that's what I've done for that so far. Yeah, put it for driving lights, I do it for fog lights. The switch is faulty. Couldn't get these switches anymore, so I put a new one in. But I'll go on the back side, and the wiring is different on the plug to the socket. So I'm going to see if I can pull out the pins. Otherwise, I'll just rewire the whole thing up. So I'll get back to you in a few to see how it works. Okay, I got it reconnected on the back side of the switch. Look outside, turned it on. You can see my lights come on. And if I go inside the panel, it's on there too. So one other small project done. Well, here's the start of my spare tire rack that's going to go on top of the cab. So far I've made all this out of recycled materials. There's a few things I have to buy, but I have to wait till I get my vehicle fixed and I can go into town and pick it up. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, or subscribe if you already haven't, and I'm hoping to go to Seattle at the end of the month.